Rather than put level 4 and level 5 on separate levels, I think it's actually best to think of them as two upgrades that can happen interchangeably. Level 5 isn't about upgrading your studio monitors, but adding a subwoofer to your system. The principles in level 4 and level 5 are very similar. In level 4, we might have gone from desktop monitors that only reproduce frequencies down to about 45 Hertz to pro-level monitors that reach all the way down to 40 Hertz or lower. We might have gone from a two-way system that relies on a single driver to reproduce wide ranges of frequencies to a three-way system that can reproduce sound more efficiently and effectively. Adding a subwoofer to your system achieves similar goals. A subwoofer can open the door to hearing a full octave below what these monitors can reproduce. Plus, the subwoofer introduces an additional driver to focus on the low frequencies specifically. When I added a subwoofer to my system, I realized that I'd been missing a lot of information when I was mixing and listening to music. That's why you may choose to go from level 3 to level 5 directly, rather than upgrading your studio monitors, maybe adding a sub instead. Of course, a subwoofer does introduce more low frequencies, and we already know from our discussion about acoustic treatment in level 3 that low frequencies are particularly difficult to control. With that said, you can't hear what you can't hear. So if you're mixing without a subwoofer in your studio, you're simply not aware of the lowest frequencies in your mix, aside from how they might impact the frequencies that are within the range that your system can reproduce. But even then, it's not the full picture. If you're adding a subwoofer to your system, you'll definitely want to take time to calibrate your system. With any system, headphones, studio monitors, subwoofer, it's important to calibrate your listening level. But with a subwoofer, you introduce space and time into the equation. Take special care to align the subwoofer and the monitors physically in space so the sound from each reaches the listening position in phase, particularly at the crossover region. And if that's not possible, you may need to implement a delay into your signal flow to ensure the mains and subs are phase aligned at the crossover frequency. This is a bit outside the scope of this video, but if you want to learn more about that topic, leave a comment below. I've got to say it again. Better gear with no skill will not make your music sound good.